appreciate you guys making the trip all the way down here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're Pop Step from Arokane in Tokyo, right?
Right. Hello.
Pleasure to meet ya. As for me, snip, snip, and clip, clip.
Hey, Cat Crab!
I'm Monika Kaniyashiki, and that's my tagline. You're looking at the official idol of the Kani Doge. So how does that grab you, kids?
Oh, awesome.
The pleasure is ours.
Oh, they still got no concept of jokes up in Tokyo, huh?
Yeah, looking to get snipped? Cause I could nip ya.
Brilliantly done, Fats! There!
Officer Monika Kaniyashiki, self-described knockout. Quirk, snip clip. If she can fit it between her fingers, she can snip it.
Snippity snip. Grouse. Apologies, but I would like today to be my last day with Sacred.
Oh, wait? Seriously? Why would you leave the greatest party ever?
Because this isn't what I had signed up for. I'm done. I cannot be a member of this party anymore.
Goodbye, my friends.
Hey, the more the merrier. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my Beats headphones. That's kind of weird.
You're all
So,
good.
I was-
Hi.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to see what's going on with these because I've been using these lately for the streams. So it's kind of excess. It's acting up, but at least this one works. So forgot I had extras.
Hey, that's what they're for? I'm trying to pull my cat into... Yeah, you're gonna hang out with us, buddy.
Hey, the more the merrier.
Yeah, he's an attention hog. He's a very sweet boy.
You're like my 7th cat person I brought on the podcast.
Every
So,
voice actor has a cat. It's a phenomenon. It's because they're nice and quiet and don't bark while you record, and because they're the freaking best.
gotta have cats. I mean, you do look like a cat person.
I've been told that. I've gotten that before.
That's sweet. That's sweet. But
Yeah, I'll take it.
besides the technical difficulties, are you having a good day so far?
Yes, I am. How are you? Your day going well?
Well, woke up this morning, did the
Mhm.
Dragon Ball music video as you saw,
Nice.
and then I went to the gym to go work out, had an omelet for breakfast, and I took me a quick nap.
Nice. Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Man, Hamlet is already going for the chords. I'm gonna scoot you away. You lost privileges. Um, he's a menace. No, I had a record this morning for a show I'm working on. It was super fun. And now I'm here. Happy
Okay,
camper.
that's sweet.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, I might be excited to see the show. Can't wait to see what it's all about.
When it drops, it's gonna become my whole personality. It's a audio drama, actually. So I'm also in the podcasting sphere.
That's good. We need more people like that.
Yes, I work a lot in audio drama. I like it quite a bit.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Well, if we're done with that, I guess we can go ahead and get into this. So
Yeah, hit me with it.
Anyway, sure thing. So, hey guys, this is Phil. I'm host of the Conversation Podcast, and today I have a guest S here. Introduce yourself. Who's Kayla Temshiv I'm speaking to this afternoon?
Who is Kayla Temshiv? Hi, I'm Kayla Temshiv. I'm an actor and writer based out of Dallas. I work a lot in anime dubbing, in audio drama, and in a whole bunch of other stuff wherever they need me.
That's sweet. That's nice. You gotta be a woman of many talents, right?
Yeah, I run around. That's in this industry nowadays, in this world nowadays. You have to have multiple things that you do, unfortunately. But I love all the stuff I do, so it works out.
Exactly. Now, before we get into these questions, I want to start with a little icebreaker. I think you might like this icebreaker. So, I have watched and listened when I first mentioned you when I first watched the first episode of My Hero Academia Vigilante season 2. Really good, by the way. I was like, after My Hero did, I was like, the franchise continues in season 2 of Vigilante. So I got so you're you're Monika, the crab lady,
Monica,
and
yeah, the goat.
yes, yes. Have you ever decided like she does a lot of idol stuff? Have you decided I think about being an idol or something?
Oh my goodness. In another life, I would have given it all up to be an idol 1000%. In this life, I am like an okay singer and I don't dance. So it's maybe not for me. But I have so much respect. I think idols are so cool. I was so excited when I found out I was voicing her. I was like, "Oh my god, she's an idol." And then I was like, "Oh my god, she's kind of an idol. She's got a lot going on." But yeah, she's
Yeah.
just a girl in the world. In another life, yes. In this life, no.
I understand. Sometimes it's not for us. I seen so many VAs who are doing singing, all that stuff, and it's nice to pay attention to see how they do things, because some people like Abby Trott and Kaylee Mills who do like they're singers. I still want to check out their singer records and maybe talk to them someday. But
Yeah.
it's a work in I'm still trucking along and just keep trying.
Yeah. I mean, I've sung for a handful of shows. Not really. The only time I've sung in anime is as Monika when she does her little Kanidoke jingle. But I love singing for shows. I hope I get to sing for more shows. Singing is hard. Mad props to everyone that's really, really good at it. I'm okay.
Oh, hey, you never know till you try.
Yeah.
So
I'm out here
now,
trying.
So now, thing is, I divide this up into sections, and these were to character details. I had to do some research on the character details. I was like, I need to find some main characters in shows that she's in instead of these secondary characters. That way, it makes it more powerful. So it took me 3 hours to try to redistribute these questions in the best way possible.
Yeah, I'm pretty new on the scene. So, yeah, my entire resume comes from basically the last year of my life, in the anime world, at least.
Hey! Even if you're new in your seat, you still got big roles to play. Okay.
Oh, I've been extremely fortunate. I've been very, very lucky and very, very grateful, to get the opportunities that I've had. Yeah, it's been awesome.
Exactly. So let's go into the first part, which is origin, identity, and creative path. Now, when you first started acting, writing, because I did see your bio, you are a writer too, and performing. Was it about finding your voice or discovering who you truly were?
Neither really. It's basically for me. I was born, and then a couple years went by, and then I started watching movies, and then I was like, oh, that's it. Like this is like literally like 4 years old. I was like, I want to be an actor. Full stop. And that was just kind of the path I set myself on. I love, playing pretend. I just love acting. And I feel like life is so finite. Like there's, only X amount of things I, as just like a pithy human being, can do in my lifetime. But as an actor, as a storyteller, as a performer in that way, I can do whatever I want to do. I can do all of the things. I can explore those avenues temporarily through a character, through a story. And that's just something I've never, I've just been stuck on that. Yeah, so I locked in pretty hard as a youth. And that's my origin story.
Yeah, that's really nice what you're saying. I know, and I know some people who like to do whatever kind of career they put their minds to. They got to start somewhere, right? Like, you just got to take baby steps into doing what makes us going. Basically, you got to do what's going to make you happy, what's going to make you successful. That's all you can ask for, right?
Yeah, trying your best.
Mm.
It's
And
especially nowadays, all you can do is try your best and be kind and be grateful and work really, really hard. Yeah.
you know the old saying, just be focused, stay focused, work hard, play hard, etc.
Mhm.
You get the picture, and I've doing the same thing too. It's like, I'm trying to figure out these next step what I'm trying to do, because now it's like I finished most of all my college careers and everything. I graduated college 2 years ago, 3 years, almost 2 years now.
Congratulations.
Now I finished my cybersecurity program.
Fun.
So I'm trying to look at working at those big companies like Apple, for example.
Hmm.
So I'm just trying to just keep moving and find new thing is I'm just trying to stay productive every day.
Yeah. Also like something I need to do is take a break and not focus solely on like my own productivity, because it's very easy for me in particular to be just work all the time. And taking a step back from that and maybe like focusing on my mental health or like my physical health, and finding things that bring me joy that aren't connected to my career success, is so important.
Yeah, and sometimes, and I'll add on to that, Kayla. Sometimes it gets exhausting, and it's like I just like I just want to take a break from all the noise and just like focus on what I need, like make sure I'm okay. And I know, and I don't know if you know this, Kayla, but I think you already know this. Sometimes, doing like the voice added stuff, it does get exhausting sometimes. And it's like, sometimes you have to think to yourself, and this is a really powerful question. What's the point of all this?
Yeah. I mean, are you asking?
No, I'm just telling you, like from a
Yeah.
stand, like
No,
in general.
absolutely. And I mean, this is acting in general, and I say this a lot. It's one of the most competitive, demoralizing, emotionally exhausting fields you could ever get into. Um, and I wouldn't rather do anything else. Like that's just the kind of person I am. And yeah, it's certainly not for everyone. I mean, I know right now I work multiple jobs trying to kind of do what I can. Hopefully that won't be the case forever, but that's the case, right now. And I know all of my actor friends, who, and like some of them have crazy career success. Just like nowadays, they're like, yeah, I also have to work another job because just the economy's bad and rent's high and it is what it is. And it can get so exhausting, but it is really rewarding when you do something and you're proud of it. Um, there's nothing like taking pride in what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm happy to say I get the chance to do that. I'm very, very lucky.
Oh, of course, definitely. Kayla, you're doing fine. Keep doing it.
I'll do my best.
All right. All right. Up next, your work spans anime, audio, drama, radio, and stage plays. Now, which medium challenges your heart the most and why?
Ooh. Um, so it used to be voiceover that was the hardest. I really, really struggled vocally. And in college, I had a professor tell me, like, you move very well, but you're going to struggle vocally. And I took that very seriously, and worked really, really, really hard. And now, like, a voiceover, animation, audio, drama, all that is like my bread and butter. That's the thing I'm most comfortable doing. Whereas it used to be stage. And now, so when I do go back on stage, there's that like, oh my God, I'm not just like in my booth in the dark by myself. Like there are all of these people and you don't get takes. You do it once and it has to be right. And everyone's looking at you. And yeah, the part that hits my heart is I guess being perceived is a lot. Um, and I don't know, it still brings me so much joy. None of it like weighs heavy on my heart. It all is so fulfilling, but like easily the most difficult one for me right now at this point in my life is stage. Um, because yeah, it's the most it's the most adrenaline you can have while acting, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, because theater class can be stressful. I actually took that as a non-major kind of thing back then because this was my thing. But I did pay attention to how people act on stage and everything, so I get a good glimpse of how these guys do it when they're like in voice boxes or just on stage, on set, just directing stuff. But it's like you have to constantly tell yourself, "Well, shoot, what can I do better to make this perfect? Like, what else am I missing? Is it something?" Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Something my granddad always tells me, and he is right. He's very wise. People don't plan to fail. They
Yeah.
fail to plan.
Dang. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Um, dang. Circling a little bit back to what you said a second ago, like the thinking about all of it so much. Um, there was this thing we studied in college. I was very fortunate to go to like a conservatory and just acting all the time. But they talked about unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. Just like the journey from not knowing you don't know anything to recognizing you don't know anything to working really hard to know something to just being able to do the thing. And that's definitely a huge, like, I remember doing theater in high school and being so focused on, oh, I need to emote this right now. Versus like I've been very fortunate to have incredible training and get so much more comfortable with it. And now you can just do the thing. You just do the thing. And that's the great part. Again, very, very lucky I got the formal education that I did. It is not for everyone. It is absolutely for me. I like school. School is great, works for my brain. Um, but getting the reps in essentially to the point where you can just do the thing without having to think too hard about it is like huge and hugely important.
Oh, 100%. Like, listen, school's forever. Listen, there's nothing wrong with going back and learn. To see, like for me, when I stopped, like when I graduated in 2023, I realized I need to go back to school and just learn something extra because it doesn't hurt to have. Listen, a little extra don't hurt nobody. So as long as you can go back and learn as much as you can and apply it to what you're doing now,
Yeah.
it will definitely help you out in the long run. And I think that's really interesting. People like y'all, if y'all feel like there's something else missing, go back to school, learn something new. Trust me, it's going to be worth your time.
Yeah, and I mean, learning, even if it's not in like a traditional collegiate sense, because like a lot of that stuff is really fiscally prohibitive, but like even just taking the time to learn something and build a skill in some way, I think it just makes you a more like well-rounded person. It makes you better at everything. The more I learn about one thing, the better I get at acting, regardless of what the thing is. It makes me more well-rounded. Um, so yeah, I love learning in all, like even if it's picking up a hobby. Like right now I'm learning to play Magic the Gathering. My world is bigger. It's more complicated, but my world is bigger now and I'm learning. So,
That's all that matters, right?
absolutely.
There you go. Next up, how has embracing your full identity shaped the types of characters you're drawn to and the stories you want to tell?
Oh man. Um yeah, so in college, I don't ever know if I actually ever like came out as non-binary. I'm just like I just am and I don't really it just is the way that I am. And the cool thing about like voice in particular is that I don't just have to play people that look like me. Um and I've typically always had this like ultra feminine look, and my voice is typically very feminine, and that's just, the way I was socialized. I grew up in Texas. That's what you did. And accepting and acknowledging that part of myself has made me start to look for roles with like I'm dying to play some scrappy young boys. Like anytime I get to dub, and I've gotten to dub like 3 or 4, like just like 7-year-old kids that are just guys that just like suck. It's like my favorite thing. And I've been working on this. I got pulled for this pilot episode of an animatic. I think I can talk about it because it's on social media and stuff now, called Escapades of Everfell. And they pulled me to play this queer woman, and I was like, yes, let's go. And then they also needed someone to play a little boy, and I went, I can do that too. So it was like, all aspects of, myself. I get to play this and that, and it opened me up to more opportunities versus, when I was little, while I was still coming into my own, I was like, oh, I must play the pretty girl every time because that is the best thing to be. And it's not. But that was what, society and socialization had led me to believe. So now I play a bunch of little weirdos because I am a little weirdo. And especially with Vigilantes, because I'd worked with Manny previously on a little weirdo character. And when he pulled me for it, he was like, just be weird. You've got this. And I was like, thank you. I feel so seen. And then I just got to like freak out. And yeah, play stuff that is near and dear to my heart. This is a really long answer, but like everyone I've played, I've been so fortunate to only play like the absolute best characters in everything. And all of that has allowed me to explore more aspects of my identity. Which is, priceless.
That's sweet, Kayla. And it's nice that you said all that because there was a conversation I had with Kelsey Cruz back in December, right before the holidays.
Yeah.
She was talking about, we all have to study ourselves and humanity before we put our identity into these characters. Otherwise,
Mhm.
it's not gonna be like spectacular, and I feel like it's like y'all need this like natural from our human selves.
Yeah,
And
and Kelsey's so good. Let me go on the record as saying that Kelsey is so good.
yes, she is. She is very sweet. She's
She's very fun.
very sweet lady to talk to. Yeah, you want to study yourself. You want to study your faults, your successes. Your downfalls. You want to know exactly who you are before you start going to like voice acting careers and stuff like that. That way, people be like, huh, so she was like this back in the day. And I was like, I appreciate her past going to the show kind of thing. If you see what I'm talking about. Because most people don't pay attention to that aspect. And it's like, oh, well, what am I missing here? Is it just people they're just watching characters on the screen? Lately with me these days, I'm watching these shows just to make sure I pay attention to context. That way I can understand what exactly is going on. Because lately, all the shows I've been watching lately, if I can, and I'm sorry if I'm going off the topic here.
How dare you?
I'll give you a few examples.
Yes.
I finished watching Batman the animated series and Superman the animated series. Now I'm on Batman Beyond. I'm watching the whole DC anime universe over again. There were some key aspects I was paying attention here. Let's take season 2 of Apocalypse Now. Dan Turpin was killed by Darkseid.
Sure.
What happened was at the end of that show, there was a quote because it would happen. This was at the same time when Jack Kirby passed away back in the 90s, and they were saying stuff like, when Darkseid killed Dan Turpin and they had the funeral, Superman was broken because he was like, goodbye, old friend. In the end, the world didn't need a Superman, just a brave one.
Oh.
And when I was paying attention to that context, I was like, okay, because I was a kid when that show was coming in the 2000s and everything, so I really didn't understand much. But now it's like I'm an adult. I'm starting to understand the context behind the shows. It was basically saying Dan Turpin wasn't a superhero. He had no super strength. He was just a person who didn't back down from a fight no matter what.
Yeah.
So when he was taunting Darkseid, because Darkseid's pretty much a god, he didn't care if he was a god or not. He stood his ground.
Yeah.
And afterwards, when he killed him, Darkseid doesn't just kill randomly; he kills symbols. And I was like, man, this is pretty deep for a Superman show. I'm starting to really understand what's really going on. And it's like, I tell you, Kayla, these shows that you guys do, there's got to be some kind of context behind all of it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, it's the difference between like reading Animal Farm and understanding Animal Farm. Like everything is written from a point of view. And I am the kind of person where I crave context. I crave knowledge. I want to know, like I'm a huge Squid Game fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I went about, and the man who wrote Squid Game, who like pitched it and it was rejected and rejected and rejected, I found the stuff that he was reading while writing Squid Game. And reading that stuff is so informative as to like, oh, I understand, like, big fan. I love everything about Squid Game. It's a great freaking series. Love it, love it, love it. Reading Liar Game, which is a manga that inspired the writer, really made it make sense. I'm like, oh, I understood why they made those choices. Because we are so impacted by art and by the world around us. And yeah, I think stories have so much perspective, and I crave it. I crave knowing the outside perspective. I understand not everyone is that way, and that's fine too. You can watch a story, you can watch a show in isolation. I was like, echo chamber is not the right word. And still enjoy and love it as a beautiful piece of art. But sometimes when you look at the bigger picture of the world around it, you get another level of depth.
Oh yeah, of course, Kayla. Voice acting, people who do like write books, do art, it's a masterpiece. Like everything you're doing, you're telling a story, which is what we want to do and make people understand this is how we did things. And if I can give one more example, I have a lot of examples of contests, but we don't have all day. Let's take Batman Beyond. I just started watching that show again. When we're like years into the future after the whole anime series with Batman and Superman, so basically pretty much we're going like fast forward to the future, and then we'll go back to the present day after later with Stat Shark and the Justice League with me. What happened was Bruce Wayne was getting old. I think he was like in his 50s, like he was getting old. He was still Batman. And at some point, he started having like a heart attack and everything because he was fighting criminals. Because it comes with the age. But then when he started really getting in trouble, he pulled a gun out on a criminal, which is something he did. He swore he wouldn't use.
That's not his MO.
So afterwards, when he drew that gun again, he knew like if this happens again, he's going to kill somebody.
Yeah.
So good news is the criminals did get captured by the police. That's the good news. But at what cost though? Because Bruce doesn't feel satisfied. So when he went down and put down the suit in the beginning of the show Batman Beyond, he was like, never again. So my context from that one was like he was fighting a war with an enemy that he can't defeat. Time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I just saw a wonderful production of Lion in Winter at Theater 3 out in Dallas. And it's this political drama, kind of. It's a political drama that also manages to be like a kitchen table family drama. And you're following King Henry, who's fighting all of these real world difficulties and problems in his life. But there is that looming sense of time being the thing that comes for us all. And sometimes the villain, quote unquote, in front of you is indicative of maybe something within you that you need to deal with instead. I always find it really exciting when they do stuff like that with like superheroes. Like I won't pretend to be super, super well versed in DC, unfortunately. I had my Marvel era I love all superhero stuff, but I'm just behind on DC. But having Batman deal with aging like kicks butt. That's awesome. Like I want to see Batman deal with aging. It's like this is such a strange poll. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I don't know if yeah, it's like
Yeah, I've
Puss
seen
in
that
Boots
one.
is dealing with mortality. Like what? I thought this was gonna be Shrek. And now Puss in Boots is dealing with like anxiety and realizing that he too one day will die. I'm like, this is awesome. This is so cool. So
Yeah, that was a great movie. And
it's
it's like,
such a good movie.
like I said, he was saying like, maybe one life is all you need,
Yeah.
he was telling, you don't have to have 9 lives.
Yeah.
So he pretty much learned his lesson in that movie, which is, it just goes back to what I'm saying. Like, ever since I started watching these shows again as an adult now,
Yeah.
I start to really pay attention to all these contexts of storytelling, because I know with you guys doing more anime shows, there's probably more context I need to pay. Don't get me wrong, I do want to watch it for fun, but I want to make sure I pay attention to the context. So I have like real life conversations that can relate to society, serious, incidences.
In my opinion, seeing a piece of, theater or media, should leave you changed in a way. Like it should leave you thinking something maybe you didn't think before, and not necessarily like a point of view change, but like you watch Puss in Boots and you're like, man, I should live life to the fullest. Or like, man, I should appreciate my life a little bit more. And again, insane pull, but like that's why we do it, we tell stories to make ourselves think so that we can appreciate, the real world a little bit more.
And,
oh,
go ahead.
Okay, so I bring this up a lot in my life. And like I'm someone who deals with like anxiety and depression. Like it's just part of my life, it's part of the world. And the anime that got me, like, convinced me to move back to Texas and try my hand as a voice actor was I watched Attack on Titan, and it's the greatest show of all time. It's whatever. But there's one specific moment where they go about it. They're like, what is it all for? Like, what do we do it for? Life is so hard. And Armin, voiced by Jesse James Greeley, who's the GOAT, says something along the lines of, there was this day when I was chasing my friends up a hill. And I thought in that moment, maybe I exist to chase my friends up a hill that day. And that's like the little moments of that is what it all comes back to. Like, why do we do it? Why do we work? It's so hard for this, this career or this life that can be so taxing. And it's like, well, I get to come home to my cats. Or like I get to watch, I get to do in Vigilantes. There's a scene where she does her little scissor attack, and you get the like voiceover. It's like Monika Kaniyashiki, her quirk scissor, and I'm like, that's so cool. That's such a bucket list moment for me as like a fan and as an actor. And it's like those little things that remind you why we do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to say I do apologize if it took me this long to really understand it. Like I didn't really understand, I was mostly in it for the entertainment in high school, but it took me until like after college to understand that I really need to start paying attention to more things in context. So I apologize if I'm late to the party.
How dare you? No, you're a human being, dude. That's the coolest thing about growing up, in my opinion, is that you get more and more out of life. I don't know. I like growing up. I see your like Guardians of the Galaxy shirt. I'm a huge Guardians of the Galaxy fan. Those movies are so hard because there's so much truth in them.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
of
like,
course. Because when I saw this in the movie theater, and me and my dad had a conversation about this, the theme of the movie was cruelty to animals.
For the Guardians 3? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was cruelty to animals. And and I like how they told a story about Rocket, because this is Rocket's own movie.
Yeah.
And Rocket's life is in danger. Like you have him, he was facing with the high evolutionary back in the day when he was a little raccoon baby, and now it's like he gets older and it's like, it's I don't want to make you cry.
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
Going
Yeah,
into
he
that
was.
movie, oh my god, not knowing it was going to be entirely about Rocket and then getting a whole movie about his backstory was crazy. It was so good.
And I think that's probably why in the previous movies he was like he didn't want to talk about his backstory because
Yeah.
it was painful. And
Yeah.
when we get to Guardians 3, I understand why he didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah. No, it was so good. And Guardians in particular, I feel like manages to tell really heartfelt stories. Like the first one, it's like, find yourself, find your family. The second one's like, your parents, your past is not you, coming to terms with all that. And then the third one is like, wow, treat animals with empathy. And I'm like, oh, yeah, those movies are awesome.
I gotta watch them again.
Yeah, and James Gunn I just watched it. It's so fresh on my mind. The new
Superman.
Superman movie, which has so much heart and meaning behind it. Um, and it's just like we're really redefining what you can do with like a superhero movie or with
Mhm.
like I love the Knives Out, Glass Onion, Wake Up Dead Man trilogy. And they're really redefining what you can do with a murder mystery. Um, and it's awesome. It's so cool. All of it makes you think. I have such an appreciation for media with a viewpoint. I can't stress it enough.
Well, hey, that comes to us when we could. That's what happens when we become, book nerds, blurs, and everything.
Yeah.
So we just love diving into context with these stories and understanding the purpose behind them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, I know that was a long question 3, but that was a really powerful question 3 right there.
Yeah. No, I
Mm.
mean, this is my favorite thing to talk about. I'm down to talk for a while.
Well, let's keep the train moving, shall we? Number 4, radio demands that you convey entire worlds, and emotions with just your voice.
Yeah.
Now, what did performing to those of you listening back home teach you about subtlety, presence, and storytelling?
Oh my god, did you listen to it? Did you track it down?
I did.
Oh my god. Okay.
It was really good.
Thank you. I think that has such a soft spot in my heart. To those of you listening back home, is me being unable to write a show without making it the longest title of all time. I Small tangent. I had just gotten into audio drama and podcasting, not like working in it, just listening to it. And I was really inspired by a series called The White Vault. And I listened to that and I was like, this is incredible. I didn't know you could do this. And the cool thing about audio drama and radio plays is you have to be really freaking smart with how you write it. Because in my opinion, there are 2 reasons things become like podcasts or audio dramas. It's like, one, because it's there's a really low barrier to entry. It's very accessible, which is awesome. And then the other reason is they have a story that they want to tell sonically. Like it being heard is important. And that's the thing I really wanted to stress to those of you listening back home is like reliable versus unreliable narration. Only hearing something will give you a certain point of view on it. And the show I'm working on now, which also has a long title and drops this Valentine's Day, called Something's Amiss at Juniper's House, is a similar ordeal. We really, really, really utilize audio as a media to get across, certain points and certain clues and to tell the story in the way we want to tell it. So it was really important to me to those of you listening back home that one, I wanted to tell a story about queer kids camping in the woods. I was submitting it to this competition, a small tangent. I was submitting it to this competition and they gave me a list of things. It was a Cincinnati-based thing out of University of Cincinnati College Conservatory of Music, my alma mater, UC, Go Bearcats, I think is our animal. But I had just graduated and the acting program in partnership with WVXU, the radio broadcasting statement out there. Thank you. they were doing a playwriting competition, and they were going to pick and produce 3 plays, and they gave a bunch of outlines. They're like, it should deal with, Cincinnati in a way, no cursing, I think, or limited cursing. And those are the 2 I remember because I broke both of them. I was like, cool. So this is not going to be about Cincinnati. This is a coming of age for 2 queer teenage girls. They're going to go out into the woods and find ghosts that suck. And we're going to curse the whole time. And the whole thing was judged blind, which is really, really funny because my partner was on the judging committee. So he could not know. He knew I submitted a play, but didn't know which one it was. So it was judged blind. They pulled the 3 winners, and then they pulled mine as an honorable mention because they just wanted to produce it, I guess. So like I didn't follow the rules. They liked it anyway because I wanted to tell a weird little story that was so specific to audio. Yeah, and it was really funny. I was like, "Can I tell you it's mine now?" My partner's like, "I don't think I read it." I'm like, "That's so crazy because you cast it yesterday." And that got to be a really, really cool moment. But it was so fun to work on it because, one, you have to trust your audio designers and your directorial team so much. Like you have to. And that's why I keep working with my partner on stuff. Because I'm biased. He's real good. He's real talented. And understands how to communicate a story effectively through just audio. And the cool thing about, like, to those of you listening back home is there's a big plot twist like halfway through, and you realize what you're listening to is like police evidence, which if it's, a movie, or if you see it, you're in the room where the guy is being interrogated. You don't get to do that bait and switch. And having the opportunity to bait and switch your audience in that way is so special to me personally. Maybe because I'm a troll, what do I know? But it is a unique aspect of doing audio only. That was a really long answer. It definitely did not answer your question. But that's the story of that project.
It's still an answer, and it works.
Yeah, it was really so dear to my heart. That was my first time writing for audio.
No, Kayla, preach. I need you to preach.
I will.
Preach.
But there's such a learning curve. There's such a learning curve writing for just audio, because you can't, you write stage directions and you can't be like, I can't remember their names. You can't be like, Elizabeth sees a ghost. You have to be like, Elizabeth's dialogue is like, what's that? And you have to have the engineer, like the sound designer, come up with stuff to convey the thought, because you can't just be like, we see a ghost. Like, it doesn't work. So you get to get creative, which is, what we do it for. Everyone out here is creative. You flex those muscles.
I think the best part is, you managed to just be yourself in that, that audio track. And it's nice that you have to, listen, I always tell people, make sure you know exactly why you're doing all this. You just go back to our earlier discussion, sure, yeah. I'm doing this because I like telling these stories. I like telling stories. There's so much. Listen, Kayla, it's a big universe out there. Yes, it's a big universe out there. So there's lots of stories to tell. For me, for me doing this, there's lots of people to talk to. There's billions of y'all to talk to. Just need to know why I need to start looking first.
Yeah.
But
the world is so big, and life is long and also short. It's like there's so much out there. You're never gonna get to it all. But have a zest for life. The more of it you reach, the better and more fulfilled you'll be.
We'll just do the best we can.
Yeah.
And I got a question. Isn't your partner an audio engineer or something?
Yeah, he is an actor and a sound designer, and a director. He is multi-talented. But yeah, wait, he also...
Is he a voice actor or anything?
Yeah.
Wait, what's his name?
His name is Dustin Parsons. Just flexing on him. He's fantastic. He does some anime as well. Right now he's busy directing and sound designing. Some things amiss at Juniper's house. He was also in that production of Lion in Winter that I saw like 3 times. Yeah, he's phenomenal, super, super talented. I'm a little bit biased, but yeah, he's wonderful and he's my favorite person to work with.
I swear, I keep running into all these voice actor couples.
There
They're
are
everywhere.
a lot of us. He did, I was really into anime in like middle school, but like fell out of it. And he got me back into it in college when we met by being like, let's watch My Hero Academia. And like I immediately was so in, and he was the one that was like, let's move to Dallas and dub anime. And yeah, grateful to him for everything. And also just being the best. I like him a lot. But yeah.
Again, I would try to get over to Dallas and California to check out those studios.
Yeah.
But 2 problems. 1, it's kind of expensive to get to those places these days.
Yep.
2, I don't know if I need to sign a waiver or something saying I could come in and check y'all out. I don't know how it works.
They do not do tours anymore. There are very specific circumstances under which they will do tours. I don't know exactly what they are, but like for actor safety, they don't let people, because yeah, I've heard people will come in and just try and like get to the actors, which is not safe. And you want to be able to work when you're at work.
Well, listen, I don't blame you guys. I mean, have y'all seen what happened with Zach Angler last August?
Yeah. People, I mean, parasocial relationships are real. And there's, a healthy way to do it and a not healthy way to do it. But yeah, studios should, especially because what we do is so emotionally vulnerable. It's gotta be a safe place. And they do a really good job. They do a really good job of making it a safe place. But yeah, I know there are ways. Like if you know directors, I think someone might be able to give you a tour. But yeah, like I know I personally could not. I don't think I have the clearance to get a person in. I don't know if LA is a different deal. Because that's a huge office, but I do not know. I'm just a little guy.
Well, to be honest with me, I'm not going to exert the energy anytime soon. So.
You also, Dallas is such a place to live right now. Yeah, it's such a place. It's really fun to come out here for like conventions and stuff.
I'll just do that instead.
Yeah, go check out like Anime Frontier. I got to my friend Adam Corky, who does the podcast Do You Watch Anime, which is awesome, was able to come out and like meet everyone in real life for the con. That was super fun.
Oh, trust me. I've seen some of his stuff. He does good work.
He's great. Yeah. So I mean, like, find a con. See, I know you've worked with a bunch of other voice actors that would want to meet up and say hi. Like, find an occasion, come out and visit. But it's freaking expensive to travel.
I'll do my best, but I got plans to travel across the globe later this year.
That's my dream. Where are you based, if you don't mind me asking?
So I'm based in Georgia.
But
I will say this: I do have, I'm close to Atlanta though, because it's like 4 hours away. Nice. So they have a lot of those big studios, and plus I have family members who have certain connections. There's my cousin of mine who does photography, and he's been chatting with a lot of special guests, including people like Tika Sumter. They're best friends now.
Wow, yeah, I really wanted to move to Atlanta for a while because that's where they filmed The Walking Dead, which was my favorite for like a decade.
So, and to be honest, I was thinking to myself before I was talking to you, I was like, I'm hoping when the dust settles, these guys will see me that I just want to hang out or something.
Yeah, it's cool. I've met, and I'm very, very socially awkward. And like even in college, I was the one that was like too into theater and to acting and stuff like that. I was not very popular. And I was, I'm a little weirdo. It is what it is. And all my classmates were lovely and wonderful. I just wasn't super popular. But like coming out here, because anime is such a labor of love, finding friends that are just as freaking weird and nerdy as I am. I've met some wonderful, wonderful people, and I did not anticipate, coming out here and working really, really freaking hard to follow my career would get me some incredible friendships. Like, the people I've met are wonderful. And there's something to be said, like, anime is inherently kind of political, and like if you watch and love One Piece, you're gonna be chill. It is what it is. So I
Yeah.
mean, finding people we have that shared love of anime and of media that is so impactful, and also get to go through it together and
Oh,
be
yeah, of course.
friends is awesome.
Yeah, I also tell myself, even if I'm not doing the same stuff as you guys, voice acting, like other stuff, like, I'll be honest, it's not for me, it's not my thing. But
So fair
I
and healthy.
I find other ways to work with you guys.
Yeah.
So this is how this is working. So I was like, I'm going to use what I've learned in school and apply it to this.
Yeah, and that's like the whole game. There are so many people that are like tangentially, that's the word, tangentially related to the industry. Like voice actors are not the only people that work in anime by a freaking long shot. We're just a lot of times the ones that you see. And everyone involved is rad. And yeah, getting to go to I go to conventions and you see people in cosplay and I'm like, dude, you're awesome. That's all of it is part of the world. And it's a really cool world to be a part of.
Exactly. Definitely a cool world to be part of.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the end of section 1 here. Let's wrap
Okay.
this up. But I know this was a long section 1, but it's an important section 1.
Yes.
We need that.
And let me know if I'm give me start playing me off like at the Oscars. If I'm talking too long, give me one of these. And I'll be like, I got you.
Oh, it's rude to interrupt people, but yes, I will do that. Okay.
Interrupt me. Yeah.
So number 5, looking back, what advice would you give to the Kayla who was waiting for permission to try?
It's okay. It's okay. You can be a little weirdo. It's fine. You can like things. It's fine. I'm very I hyperfixate pretty hard. So like I'll find a thing, it becomes my whole personality. That's okay. That's what makes you good at stuff. Being weird, being neurodivergent, that is a superpower as much as it makes you feel weird societally. Like you're allowed to be who you are. You're allowed that.
Of course.
Yeah. And you can cut your hair. You can cut your hair. No one cares. No one cares. Like,
hey, short hair works. Plus, all that long hair gets in your way.
dude, I get so overstimulated, and like I just chopped my hair, and I'm like, oh my god, I feel alive. Just I can chop it. I can dye it green. That's why I love voice acting. I can look like whatever I want. I have tattoos. They're small and hidden, but I have them. You're allowed that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely. Don't let nobody tell you different, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All
Pop
right.
off.
Gotcha. All right. So now we're in section 2. Now, section 2 is going to be the first part of a deep dive character. Hope you're ready because it's
so
your
excited.
girl. It's your girl, Monika Kaniyashiki.
Monika Kaniyashiki.
Yep.
The
So
goat.
and again, like I said, watch the first episode. It was amazing.
Thank you. She's so much fun.
Mhm.
I had the freaking time of my life recording for her.
Listen, I tell you, I try to support you any way I can. If I have to screen record in front of my TV and say she did a good job in this part, I will do that. Yeah, not sure you'll see I'll be like, sometimes I'll be like, they must not see me.
Oh, I do. I'm atrocious at social media. But I do appreciate, I mean, any flowers y'all give. It's I just read a review, and you shouldn't do it. You should never read reviews. But I just read a review of a show that I'm working on. They're like, everyone's great, but Kayla. I was like, damn. And that's fine. That's someone's opinion.
Man, who cares what they think?
Yeah,
Like,
it is
it's
what
just
it
a
is.
trope.
But it's nice.
he always be trolling. They just be trolling in the comment
Hey,
section.
and you're allowed opinions, and that's part of what makes people special and different. But the love for Monika in particular has been just everyone loves her, at least everyone that I've seen, and that's been so awesome.
I be telling people, stop underestimating the side characters. You're going to regret it later.
She's the best. I can't help it. I only get to play the absolute goats. She's so awesome. I'm like friggin' honored to get to play her, to get to be her English voice.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll answer any questions you have.
Well, here we go.
Hit me with it.
Monica's quirk, snip clip, is
Yes.
precise, practical, and life-saving, and not flashy. Now, how do you approach voicing a character whose strength is defined by control, courage, and responsibility, rather than the spectacle?
My goat. So it's funny because she brings the spectacle, like in her own, like her personality is the spectacle. Her quirk is like really useful. But I mean, she chooses, I guess, not to go to hero school. Like she chooses not to get her quirk, her provisional license or any of that. Like she chooses to be law enforcement and just use her quirk illegally and beg for forgiveness later. But yeah, I feel like for her, the spectacle comes from she has such a zest for life. And it comes from the ways that she goes undercover and she like creates these personalities and these situations for herself with like the underlying knowledge of I do have this super OP ability that works as a failsafe. And there's also the element of like she's very crab themed. So for a lot of her stuff vocally, we do a lot of like snip snip kind of energy, which is just so fun. Yeah, and balancing, she contains multitudes. So you get to see it really in the second episode where you have both sides of her. Like in episode 1, you have like, "Hi, I'm Monika Kaniyashiki, and like I'm just a girl in the world." And in episode 2, she like pulls a gun out and is like, "Start talking. I don't know who you are." And I think that's her vibe. She has the super in control, I am an officer who's good at their job. And then the I'm just a girl in the world like aspect. And I think leaning into that duality is how you find that, and also what makes her so fun.
I can tell, like, did you see when she introduced, and by the way, yes, I did speak to Jack Broadbent the other day when you saw him on my thing. Very amazing guy. I was like, did you see the way she was talking to Koichi and why am I saying this? You voiced her. Why am I talking about this?
I did in fact see the scene, yeah.
For pop stuff. Yeah. Did you see that crab face she was making?
Yeah.
I was like,
Goat.
oh my gosh, that is terrifying.
Yeah, and shout out to Aaron Campbell, who I've gotten to work with on a handful of occasions, who directed that specific moment. And I did the hiccup crab thing like 40 times, and he was always just like, "You can be a gremlin." He's like, "Do it, more gremlin." I was like, "I got you." And I was so excited and so happy with the way it turned out.
I did meet him in 2025 back
He's
in February.
wonderful.
Very amazing guy. So, but yeah,
Awesome,
I was
awesome
like,
person to work with.
I need to catch him again at some point. But that's a discussion for another day. But yes, that crab scene. I was like, okay, so she's a crab. She does a lot of crab things. I got it. I got the picture.
Yeah, I broke a sweat recording for her for episodes 1 and 2. She's just a menace. There is nothing low energy, except for there's one line where she's like, "You guys still don't have a sense of humor, do ya?" And it's like, that's my rest. The rest of the time we're yelling.
Well, there you go. Well, I hope you continue. I hope you're ready to continue with the jokester act, because that's the next question I'm about to ask you right now.
Hit me with it.
Many underestimate Monika because of her cheerful jokester personality. And yet she's deeply serious and capable on the job.
Yeah.
As you saw in episode 2. Now,
girl.
How do you balance her humor with the weight of her going undercover work?
I think So the thing with Monika, the thing with Kaniyashiki, she is doing a bit at all times. And the thing with me, Kayla Temshiv, as a human being, is that I am doing a bit at all times. So it's not like there's a lot of acting involved in like a typical sense, but there's also like not a lot of acting involved. She's just like me for real. So it's, every time she does a bit, it's her having so much fun with her circumstances, and making the best out of the situation, but also it's her being really focused on her work. So it's the tapping in. She's like, all right, in this moment, I'm an idol. I'm just a girly in the world. I'm doing my thing. And then you find out like 5 minutes later, they're like, oh, Kaniyashiki, no, she's not an idol. She just like works in sales and we needed someone for this. And she just locked in and committed so hard. So that's what it's about. It's about like the saying yes, like whatever it is. She's like, all right, we're gonna have fun with this. We're gonna make it a bit. And that's what makes her, so good at her police job. Is because no one expects the person that's just doing a bit all the time to be low-key very serious. So it's great. I got to use every aspect of my voice when recording for her, which is so fun.
I can tell because you looks like you had a good time when you did the first 2 episodes.
I had a great time.
By the way, without spoiling anything, I did read the rest of the manga, so but I know she'll be back. That's all I know. She'll be back. That's all I know because I read I read some of the manga already, so she'll be back. I can't wait to see more of that funny stuff.
She'll be back. I'm excited to see how they bring her back in the anime. If they change anything, I know they've changed some stuff. I'm hoping because she is so popular. With the fan base, I'm hoping, I'm biased. I want them to give her more stuff to do and more screen time and stuff like that, but I'm thinking it'll be a trip, whatever they have her do.
Hey,
and I can't wait.
Hey, she's an idol.
She's an idol. She's a hot and talented and funny, and there's no one like her because she's the best at it, obviously. And she gets so offended if you think she's joking.
Man, I should have put that as the icebreaker. You ever thought I was going to say like, man, I should have asked maybe if Kayla could do her hair just like a Monika.
Unfortunately, my hair is too short now, but you're not the only one. When I went in to record with Aaron, he was like, you should do your hair like her. And I was like, I've been this close, faithful listeners. My fingers are a couple centimeters apart. This close to dyeing my hair red anyway before I got that email. Jury's still out. I think I'll be green for a little while longer, but I might go red. I booked a couple redheaded cuties in a row, and I was like, maybe this is the universe being like, do it. But
hey,
listen,
Kayla, don't rush. If you do, I'll be sitting here waiting, okay?
Yeah, it's my hair is fickle. It grows so fast. I have the luxury of being able to bleach and dye it. Life is long. It'll be red at some point.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next question about Monika. Now, Monika hides seriousness behind friendliness and jokes.
Yes.
Now, how did you communicate her intelligence, dedication, and moral courage through her outwardly casual voice?
I think, it's the moments when she drops it. It's the moments when because she's doing a bit. It's like that one, she's like, geez, I guess they still don't have a sense of humor in Tokyo, huh? She's like, I'm gonna be this girl and do this bit. And she's like, Jesus Christ, everyone around me is so lame. And she just finds those little moments. Which is why it's such a great reveal when it pivots to her and she's like, hey, I'm a cop. Because you realize her being so committed to being goofy is showing that she is really good at that aspect of her job. The goofier she is, the weirder she is, it's just showing that she's really locked in. So that when you do those big moments that switch, that's how you tell. It's like there's with a scene with our evil villain, where he's like, hey, is there something wrong with the package? She's like, dude, let me live my life. Actually, I'm going to pull a gun on you. She's a lot. But that's how her ability to switch very quickly is where she demonstrates exactly how smart she is.
Pretty much, it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Doing the idol stuff, she's all cheery and jokestery, but on the cover, it changes into a darker tone for her.
Yeah, and that's also like, again, being like socialized as a woman and like going through the world. Sometimes it's like people want to see a certain thing from you. And if you show them what they want to see, they will. I've worked retail. I've worked retail. I've worked a little bit of food service. Like, being able to be different in different situations is very helpful. And she utilizes that for like hero stuff. She's not a hero, but like she utilizes it to help people. Which I do think is very smart.
And this goes back to what I was saying back then with the, this goes back to what I was saying, like, with the context with Dan Turpin, the Superman anime series, even though he doesn't have any powers. Same thing, like Monika, she's not All Might, she's not Ochako, etc. She stood her ground just like Dad Turd. They stood their own ground. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. We're gonna do this and get it done.
Oh no, she kicks butt, even though she's not. I mean, that's the point of Vigilantes, in my opinion, is like, I mean, the point of My Hero is like there is a hero within all of us, and like in Vigilantes, it really leads into like, even if you're not a superhero in a world of superheroes, you can be a hero. You can be a person that makes a difference. And I mean, she's a great a demonstrator of that, because it's like she's in the police force, but she's throwing her life on the line. And she's, especially like Fackham just yeets her across the stadium and she like throws herself in front of a bomb crab to like cut its legs off. It's like, that's hero stuff. Even if she's not, All Might, that's hero stuff.
Yeah, and adding on to that, and the same thing when Jack told me about this, when I talked to Jack back in November of last year, he was saying, Koichi, he's okay with reaching for a star, but he's okay with landing on the moon. But he's doing whatever he can. Like he said, like you told me, he'll just pick up garbage, etc.
Yeah.
And like I told him, and I think he agreed with me what I said about Koichi. And same thing with you with Monika. I think the main thing that Koichi wants, he just wants to be successful. That's all he wants. He's not asking for anything extra. And with you, Kayla, I think you're doing the same style with Monika. She's doing whatever she can, even if she doesn't have godlike powers like All Might or All for One, etc. She's doing what she can to the best of her ability. Whether it's like, being an idol or going undercover and just doing whatever needs to be done and just keep it going.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what's so endearing about Koichi, is that he really just wants to help people. And it's like, yeah, he's picking up trash. It's like, but that's helping people. Picking up trash is helping people. Cutting the legs off of a giant monster robot is helping people. Like, he was already a hero. And that's what makes Vigilantes so good.
Well, I can't wait to see what happens, because the thing is, I got to catch up because I haven't watched the new episode that came out last Monday. So I'm kind of slow a little bit. But I know when season 2 progresses, it's going to be more enticing, and plus more story and more rich context to follow. It's going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, and it looks so freaking cool. I love the like comic book style with which they've animated it. It's just awesome. As a fan of superheroes, as a fan of My Hero Academia, it's so cool. That's my professional opinion. It's just cool.
I give Bones an A plus plus plus.
Yeah, it's a
So,
really good adaptation.
we're almost at the end of section 2. Let's
Okay.
let's see, where was I? Oh yes. In a society obsessed with pro heroes, Monica still represents ordinary people who keep the world running. Now, how did you capture the essence of someone who quietly carries such responsibility?
So the thing is, she is extraordinary. In the way that all of them are extraordinary. Like for her, she's like, playing her part, doing her role, but like she says it, she's like, that's like no one's ready for like an idol who's this smart and clever and funny. And like she is extraordinary, even if people don't know it. And that's part of being a person. Like, um, to make it really, really topical, like a year ago, we wouldn't have been doing this interview because I hadn't booked, anything worth like in the anime sphere. I had just done like a couple of bits and stuff. Um, I was still the same person. I was still, just as hardworking. I was just as talented. I've definitely gotten better. Because that's how experience works. But I was still me then. A year later, I've been very fortunate. I booked some stuff, and now, I'm getting pulled to have conversations like this. Like, I feel like that's like how Monica is, how Koichi is. They are a special and extraordinary people, even if other people, that's not me calling myself an extraordinary person, but like they are every bit as special and valid, whether or not people see it. And that's the point of Vigilantes, is there are people that will go unnoticed. And they are still heroes. And for Monica, I mean, her job is going unnoticed. She's working behind the scenes constantly. And if she's doing her job right, you'll never know she was there. Which is like the way like audio engineers, like I can't help but sing their praises. Because they make us sound so good and you don't even notice. You're like, yeah, of course they sound good. It's like, no, you should have heard me in real life. Like the audio engineers do so much work, the mixers do so much work, the sound designers do so much work, and like the directors do, like everyone puts so much in, whether or not you see it.
I gotcha. And
Yeah.
and I like that you said that because there's something that's been on my mind for years since the first episode of My Hero Academia came out in 2016. Like I've been with My Hero Academia since 2016, since I was in high school. And there's something that really, really been bothering me for the last 9 years since the main series concluded in Christmas.
Mhm.
It's like people were just so focused. They were just so focused on All Might. And it's like, that's not like the whole point of the show. It's like the point of the show is that my hero stands in Kohei Hiroshi, that genius of a man. The theme of his book was like, what makes a hero? Is it courage, power, his dedication? And those are real, and that's a really phenomenal question. Like, what makes a hero? Like, is it because you just do like day-to-day stuff? Is it just like you just do anything out of the ordinary? It's not. It's not supposed to be all about one person who acts like God. And it's like, the whole purpose of the show is to understand that anybody, if you do something, if you make Kayla, if you make someone's day, if you even make someone's day, like if you help someone, if you're like, okay, like a few examples, like a few years ago, there was this lady who was struggling to get the car up the ramp, and I had to get out and push the car up the ramp to get to the gas station.
But you were her hero that day.
Exactly. There's this lady who couldn't open the door. I went and opened the door. I didn't have to do anything extraordinary. And that's what we've been saying this whole time. It's like, it doesn't matter what you do, anything you do, it makes you a hero at the end of the day.
If you're trying to help and make the world a better place, Yeah, and I mean, we can't all be All Might. All Might's thing is that he is a symbol, and yes, he has the power to back it up through the virtue of, you know, the lore and whatnot. But it's great to have a symbol, but everyone else is also a hero. And that's the point. It's a good show. It's a good manga. Yeah, I have such a investment in My Hero Academia personally and now professionally, which is crazy. But yeah, that we can all be heroes. Just because you're not like the big guy in the spotlight, you know, glowing, doesn't mean, you know, you're not important and impactful. And that's what we should all take away from the show.
Exactly. So yeah, let's just keep doing things that's going to make the world a better place, no matter what we do.
Especially in like a digital age, like when so much of people's like self-worth is interconnected with like their digital footprint. Like I know a lot of people care so much, and I can't pretend like I don't at all. It's just the way that the world is. People are like your social media presence, the amount of followers you have and whatnot. Like you are the same person regardless of if the whole world knows or not. Like, I'm assuming you didn't tweet about it when you helped the lady with her car.
No.
That the value of the act doesn't change.
It doesn't matter. And you know, and listen, like I said before, you know, people be telling me I'm just doing this to get followers. That's not the purpose of why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I want to express myself. I want to, you know, have these kind of important conversations. And listen, I do want to talk about pop culture stuff, but like I said before, there's always a life lesson behind the pop culture stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's like the secret to like career longevity is like you're not doing it for the flash in the pan fame, you're doing it for the love of the game, the thing that you love to do. And if you keep your focus there and not on the like the follower count, and I know I'm like a hypocrite, I can say this because like I've been very lucky, but like I'm not an internet celebrity, but like if you can keep that from being the goal, you'll just be happier and less stressed. Yeah, it's
Of course.
just
Yeah,
do
you know, do it because you like the passion and the art of it. I'm doing this because
Yeah.
I'm doing this because I like talking to people. I am a talker myself,
There you
and I
go.
do want to talk to more people because you know some of the work you guys do, whether it's like voice acting, photography, fashion design, and illustration, etc. There's still importance behind it. So, we're at the end of this section. Then we'll get to the other deep dive, which is Lena Floria, Bogus Skill, Fruitmaster.
My girl.
And I just want to make sure you're enjoying our conversation so far.
Yeah, of course.
Just make sure, like you said, you did. You said you are a talker, so I'll say, all right, we'll keep it going. So, number 10, was there a moment while performing Monika where her jokes or playful personality suddenly revealed a deeper layer of her character to you?
Yeah, there's one moment in her very first intro scene where she asks for like confirmation that she's doing good. It's like a brief moment. She's like, I'm the official idol of the Kaniko. How does that grab you, kids? And it's like, oh, she desperately wants their approval. Like, just for one brief moment, she's like, I am older than you guys, and I want the youths to think I'm cool. And I was like, oh, because she does do so much stuff that seems like seemingly she's doing a bit, she's being a weird girl, like blah. But there's an underlying sense if she wants people to like her. Which is why she gets kind of offended when like Fat Gum thinks she's joking when she's like, yeah, I'm pretty. She does want to be loved and appreciated. Right now she has a lot of self-love. She's looking for some external validation. I feel, and that's just like, you know, something that's slightly deeper than the surface level of I'm a crab girl, I do crab girl jokes. She's like, oh, and I also like want people to like me.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
see some of that stuff. She just wants to know this is what I do.
Yeah.
Why don't you come hang out with me or something?
Yeah, she's like, tell me I'm funny, please. But she also is self-confident and she loves herself and she gets that internal validation. But I think she is looking for someone to think that she's funny. Like she's searching for her target audience.
There you go. There you go. That's all. That's all she needs. And
Yeah.
and again, so far, I think it's working for her so far.
She's
But
kicking butt and taking names.
there you go. All right, so we're out of that session. I know that was a long one for Monica, but hey, I had to because you're one of the new characters in season 2 for Vigilantes, so I had to.
Yeah, she's so much fun. I could talk about her forever, probably.
So, all right, so now we're on the next session, which is Lena Floria, Bogus Skill Fruitmaster.
Yes.
So, by the way, I have not watched the show, so please do not get upset with me, okay?
I'm so excited to give you answers that make no sense.
Sure day. Lena is both kind-hearted and fearless in combat. Now, how did you approach voicing a character who balances empathy, intuition, and tactical skill?
She is really, really fun to play because when Sean pulled me for Bogus, this is my first lead role, which is crazy because I'm so new here. And Sean is just a wonderful a blessing as a director and as a person, and just gave me this chance. And the whole show was out. So we did the whole dub and then released it all at once. So I got to just like sit and watch the show. And he told me before I'd been able to finish all of it, like she has this great arc. And she really does, because she starts out being this like, I'm the main character's best friend and I'll go wherever he goes, to like willingly separating from the party to go out on her own to protect them, to find like the root cause of their trouble on her own. And she becomes really fiercely strong and independent, which is awesome. So I got to kind of slowly ease into that. So like for the first episode, she's just like, I kind of want to do whatever you want to do, right? Like, you know, you're gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and like everything's gonna be okay. And then they get separated. And the next time you see her, it's been like 3 months. She's been she's in a kind of toxic relationship with her party, and especially the party leader, Grouse, voiced by Aaron Campbell, the goat. And she's hardened by the world in a way that she wasn't before. So you have that like built-in gap in time. So it's really funny because for that first episode, she's like, I'm just a very good girl. And then there's like one like he has an imagination moment, like maybe she won't even remember me, and she's like, who are you? And then when he actually sees her, she hits him with the like, I think you're mistaking me for someone else. Like the coldness is built in. And then right away in episode 3, we're fighting zombies. And as someone with like a vocal violence background, as someone with like a Dungeons and Dragons background, I'm like, let's fight zombies. It's so fun to see like sweet girl Lena, like especially when she's around light, to like, I'm gonna kill all of these monsters without hesitating, without showing any sign of weakness, and before anyone can tell me to stop. So she gets real. Can we curse on this podcast?
Go ahead. Didn't I just say hey, listen, I said, yeah, it's no filters, this conversation. That's why I said no filters on myself, on my
Okay, I'll stop saying kick butt. But she gets real badass real fast. Which is awesome. And then you get those moments peppered back in where you realize like, oh my god, she is just like a teenager. When later on they go and infiltrate this dance ritual situation, and she's like, hey, so like I cannot dance. She's like, I am here to hit things with my sword. Like I am so good at that. Also please don't make me dance. Which no, like girl same. Yeah, but she has the built-in moments where she's really cool and where she's really soft, and that's what makes her so interesting.
Wow.
20
Well,
more seasons.
20 more seasons.
No, I don't know. There's no news on a season 2, but 20 more seasons.
Oh boy. Well, shoot, it sounds interesting. I might need to go check it out this week then.
It's a very sweet show. It's very funny. The premise is that you get to a la One Piece, you get to eat a fruit and it gives you a power.
Mm.
And she gets the sword saint ability, which is like you're really good with swords and ultra powerful. And her like childhood friend Light gets Fruitmaster, which means he's really good at growing fruit. And he's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And he finds out eventually that it means he can eat more of the skill fruit. So he gets a bunch of powers, becomes very powerful and awesome. But he's still kind of trying to chase how good Lena is at combat now. So they have a built-in like besties, rivals. I mean, she's not trying to rival him in any way, but he's like, I've got to be as cool as she is. And she's like, I've got to protect everyone. And like solve all the problems by myself, I guess.
Well, shoot.
Yeah,
I'll add that to my watch list then.
yeah, give it a. I mean, I'm a little biased, but like, give it a watch. It's pretty fun.
Okay. Well,
And the
shoot.
theme song is a banger.
Well,
And the
hey,
whole
since-
cast.
Oh, hey, wait. Since I talked to you, I'm going to take your word on it. I'm going to check it out.
Trust me implicitly, and you too, faithful listener. Go watch Bogus Skill Fruitmaster. Streaming now.
All right. Next up about Lena, she has a keen sense of judgment.
Yes.
And often has to read people quickly in high stakes situations. So pretty much quick thinking skills.
Mhm.
How do you convey intelligence, strategy, and emotional awareness through voice alone?
It's really cool, actually, for her specifically. Her mentals are so different from the things that she says out loud. Because she's got a very, I mean, they pulled me for it. They wanted a very bright voice. And she's bright and she's kind. And then you hear her mentals and she's like, she is lying to us. Like, we need to stop her at all costs. Like, she's so serious in her head. And you get into like action sequences and when she's with other people in power and they're like, we should do this. And she's like, I know I'm supposed to listen to these people, but like, my heart says this isn't the right thing to do. And she stays very, very true to that. And yeah, I think mostly it comes across in the contrast between like her mentals and her dialogue.
Okay. Yeah, listen, it's like, you have to learn the strengths and weaknesses of your team. It's like basically what every team you get on, whether it's the Guardians or the Avengers, pretty much. Because, and I think from listening from you, like she's on a team like almost every episode. So
she kicks ass. She's that girl. I'm biased. I'm so biased, but she's all strengths. Her weakness is like self-confidence. She really struggles to make a decision if she doesn't know like what the right thing to do is.
There was this show I was watching back in the day called Battle Force 5, Hot Wheels Battle Force 5.
Nice.
And Sage was telling Vert Rio like, "Oh, a team? No, I work alone."
Couldn't be me. Yeah.
and she also said, which is really important, a fist is made up of 5 fingers. So she was saying like you need a team. I was like, that was powerful. I was like, a fist is made up of 5 fingers. Like one person can't do this alone.
Yeah, and like Lena in particular, she's been on a team that really didn't work for her, and then a team that she loves, and then sets out on her own and still manages to find like a team and people to work with. So you get to see her in a bunch of different social situations.
Okay.
And how she navigates that's real fun.
You know what? That's really nice. She has to learn how to, understand how to navigate through like working with teams. And actually, the fact that you just said that she was a previous team, that's actually about to be my next question for you.
Hit me with it.
Let's jump into it. Now, Lena evolves from leaving her previous party to becoming brighter, more confident, and morally grounded.
Yeah.
Now, how did you capture that growth in her personality and presence?
Yeah, I mean, there's an element in life of having to make yourself small for other people. which I know is something I've dealt with. I know it's something a lot of people have dealt with. And like Lena in her first party, she's with a party of, I think it's all dudes. And they're all really like loud and powerful. And she's like, I just got swept up into this. I'm really good with my sword, but like I'm just a girl in the world, like whatever. And they start doing things that cause like harm to civilians, in the virtue of their greater good. And she has to find the strength to tell them, I won't do this.
Mm,
And she doesn't contribute to it, but not only that, she's like, I won't stand for it.
right.
And you have her in that second episode when you're like, hey, so what's Lena been up to these last 3 months? She's just like really small. She has made herself very, very submissive and low status within the group, despite being incredibly powerful. So eventually, when she leaves that group and joins her forever group, she has autonomy and authority, and they like defer to her in situations, and that helps her build the strength to be like, oh, I can make this call. I don't need to make myself small for these people that love and respect me. She doesn't need to do that anymore. She can just be, the kick-ass sword saint and kill monsters and fight really, really well and make the calls that she wants to make because she's in a place where she feels supported by that.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm a human being. I have experienced those experiences. So, I mean, for me, it was like really lovely getting to just play something that is so real. In a show where we're eating fruit and getting superpowers. Yeah, she's just like, oh, you guys, you want to hear me talk? Okay, well, okay, plan of action. And you get to see her grow into herself. Which is cool, which is fun. I like doing it.
I could tell, like like I said, when Lena left, she had to I think she just had to find something that really sticks to her. And I think, like you said, leaving that group, she found her forever group, but she
Yeah.
still have a few challenges to navigate.
She
Even
had
if
to
you,
get a little bit rescued. Yeah. She needed
so,
some external support to be like, you are okay. You can do this.
and now it sounded more interesting. Now I want to watch even more.
She's the best. I love her so much. She really gets to come into her own. I think Light comes into his own very quickly.
Mhm.
And then we get to spend a while watching Lena come into her own. Which is fun.
Sweet.
She's cool. She's real cool.
All right. 2 questions left out of this section, and then we'll be in the next one, which is voice acting, radio, and audio.
Okay.
And so we're making waves. We're getting close to the end here.
Okay.
So, in critical moments, Lena defies authority or
Yes.
convention when she sees
Yes.
injustice.
Yes.
Now, how do you portray courage and moral conviction without it feeling over the top or performative?
Yeah, I mean, she has such a sense of empathy. And it's not, I mean, for her, it's not performative because she acts on it. Like, she's like, wow, I understand that this person in charge of me is telling me to arrest this girl, but I see her and I see that she is hurt and that this is wrong. And she just kind of locks in. It's like from an acting standpoint, it's really fun because she does do things like sword fighting. So I can go, pretty hard with like efforts and whatnot and convey the intensity. And I think that is what it is for stuff like that, to keep it from being over the top, is like finding the right level of intensity. And she is pretty controlled. So she's not a character that's going to like Eren Yeager freak out and scream and like tear everyone up. She kind of locks in, focuses, and does what she needs to do. yeah, so I think her cool head and her level-headedness makes it easier to find that balance.
I think that's one of the main things to have when you're on a team. You gotta make sure whatever the objectives or mission, what you're trying to do, you gotta make sure you have a certain mindset and be like, okay, I know what needs to be done. Now I just need to execute the plan.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not gonna come to full fruition as
Nope.
I thought it would be when I first started this thing.
Yeah, and there are characters that have very big reactions to things. And she is not that person. She is the kind of person that takes in the information and then acts. Which, makes her good at what she does, and makes her the character that she is.
Yeah, you gotta. It's like the same thing with us. We gotta do research on these things and know exactly what we're getting into. It's like, how do you think some of these characters we've seen on these TV shows prepare themselves? They do the research. Well, take Batman for example. He knows how to like survey areas and understand exactly what to be prepared for. And I guess that goes in the same thing with Lena. She's analytical. She is understanding the battlefield that she's about to step on.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it more interesting that way because she's the one who's prepared. Other people in the group, they kind of sort of whatever.
It depends on what group she's in. Yeah.
So
It depends.
But with her, I like her because I like her because she's prepared.
Yeah, she's smart. She's really smart.
Next, the last question for her, then we'll the next one. Lena combines warmth, cunning, and tactical insight. I mean, of course she does. We've been talking about all this section. How do you balance her empathy and sharpness in a way that feels authentic?
I think all of it comes from a very rooted place of like sincerity. Lena, she doesn't lie. She isn't like acting. She isn't playing like multiple layers of deception. She's good. So everything from her comes from a really honest place. And I think that's like the truth of her character. That's the thing that carries through, is that I mean, Light talks about it. He's like, I want to be an adventurer that's like famous and everyone knows about him. And Hyla's like, I want pizza because she's the goat. She just wants pizza based. It is what it is. And Lena's like, I want to be a hero that helps people. Like, she really, stumbled into wanting to do real, genuine good. And everything that she does, everything that she says, every action she takes comes from that place. And she's got like a really difficult moment in either the third or fourth episode where she has to, spoilers, essentially kill some of her friends. And that's a very hard decision for her to make. But it comes from the place of, how do we do good here?
Which sucks, it's like, I tell people, betray by those you trust the most.
Yeah, I mean, she isn't betrayed. They don't deserve, but it's you'll see. But they essentially get like their bodies get taken over. In like a cool zombie way. And yeah, she's gotta make the call. And she makes the call. And she'll keep making the call the whole show.
Yeah, you gotta make tough decisions. Man, it's kind of made me think about the Telltale series. Like, the story, this game is based on the choices you make in the stories.
Yeah,
I tell you, it's like, I tell you, every time, there have been some shows where she like, we got to make tough choices. What we're gonna do, like there's been a few instances where I'm trying to think of one good little example here, but I just can't think of one. I'm just gonna rant here. There's been some shows where people had to make tough decisions. Where oh wait, I got an example. The Flash, Grant Gustin.
Yes.
And when the Thinker kidnapped the Flash in season 4, and then the other person, I forgot who the lady's name. They kidnapped Caitlin Snow, Killer Frost. The team had to make it. the team had to make a tough decision: rescue the Flash or rescue Killer Frost. The team decided to rescue Killer Frost because Iris was saying Flash can take care of himself.
Yeah.
So, and guess what? He escaped the Thinker.
That's my goat, the Flash. No, I haven't seen that show in so long. But yeah, no, you have to make the call. And making the right call is so important. And in that case, it was the right call. And that's gonna happen in any of these like superhero adventurer shows. And it's cool to get to play a character who makes the right calls.
Right.
She typically uses her common sense and her intuition and her sense of justice to get where she needs to go.
Exactly. And I think we're going to be seeing more in that show when I watch it. Watch Bogus.
Let me know what you think. Yeah.
Shoot. Oh, I'll make sure to add it to. I'll make sure to add it to my add to my list.
There's so much, so many good shows.
All right, 2 more stages. I'm not taking too long, am I? Just want to make sure.
You're good. I have another 15 minutes and give or take 5 minutes before I need to.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to choose 2 sections. I'm just going to choose 2 questions out of this next section, and then we'll just I'll just pick one very powerful question out of the last section with the writing, creative purpose, and legacy.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, that seems like a very important question.
Okay, so let's do this. Audio dramas demand conveying subtle emotion and inner life without visual cues.
Yes.
As like you said, because you are trying to do audio drama. Because ever since you did the radio play, to those listening back relies entirely on your voice and emotion. How do you translate that skill when performing characters like Monika or Lena?
For Lena, everything is very like crisp and focused and like intense in one direction. Versus Monika Kaniyashiki, where it's like we're going up and down, where you in every aspect of our voice. So you have to find. That's when it comes down to voice acting. Finding the specific character's voice. And I mean, it's what I could do Monika in the style of Lena, but she wouldn't be Monika. And I mean, you could put another person's voice. Like there are plenty of unbelievably talented actors at Crunchyroll that could have played either of these roles. And it's finding the variety, the idiosyncrasies, the heart of the character that allows those things to convey. And I mean, I'm so blessed with Vigilantes. The visuals are so incredible, and like even if I was recording in an echo chamber, I think it would still line up. But yeah, if you have the luxury of the like snip snip, I'm gonna like animation, it's easier for you to find out what that is vocally. But if you're just doing audio, you just need to make a choice. And if you can't, have the visuals, you have to have the variety of vocal inflection. If you can't, see her doing the Heike Crab face, you have to hear her doing the Heike Crab voice. Yep. Yeah. And like I'm playing for the show that I'm working on right now, I play a character who's very muted. But that's because their personality, they have made themselves small. And they're contrasted with a character who's got a bigger personality. So all of her stuff is very like fun and flirty. And then my girl's like, yeah, my character's like, that's so crazy. Do you like that's so wild. You're so cool. And pitching those 2 characters in different places, giving them different intonations, all that stuff. I mean, that's just like the bread and butter of like finding yourself as a voice actor. Which you need to do as an actor, screen and stage actor too. But for a voice, it becomes so important when there are no visuals. You have to give them your character through what they can hear.
It's exactly gotta have that. And then the next question, going back to, and the same thing with the radio play, because that radio play was amazing. I can't stop talking about it.
Thank you.
To those of, so let's see, to
For
back
those
to
of
your
you listening back home,
how has
the
this
longest
shaped?
of all time.
Oh,
So,
okay, you're good. To those of you listening back home, how has
Mhm.
this shaped your approach to anime dubbing, where timing and lip sync also play a role?
yeah, I mean, it's a whole other ball game. There is a whole other set of skills. Like if you decide you want to dub anime, faithful listener, take some classes specifically on anime because it is a whole different ball game. Because you can give me a line and I'll say it, 6 different ways at 6 different tempos with 6 different voices. And then if you give me that line and 10 seconds of a visual I have to match, it is a different task. So I didn't voice, and like to those of you listening back home, but he's supposed to be pretty hyper naturalistic, which is like typically the stuff I tend to gravitate towards as a writer. So they got to take their time. Versus anime, you go in, the mouth flaps 3 times, you got to make that line fit in the 3 mouth flaps. Like it's a fun little puzzle because you have more restrictions. But whatever you see, whatever you do, a ton of people are going to see it. So you have to be, borderline good, but you also have to be, creative and interesting and honest to the character, with 3 mouth flaps and whatever visuals they give you. So it's just tricky. It's just a fun little puzzle. And I love it. Sometimes you intuit things from the way, like I'm working on Tune Into the Midnight Heart right now, with Jonathan Rigg is the director. He's fantastic. And there's a moment where my girlie, who's so sweet, she's so nice, but like her eyebrows go in for like one moment. And, Rigg is like, hey, we gotta make her like a little bit angry here. So like my gut way of going about the line was like, yeah, but like our teacher said this. And I had to be like, yeah, but like our teacher said this. You have to let the visuals inform you. It takes some of the onus off of you, like decision making wise, but then it becomes, okay, how do I best convey with my voice what the visual is doing? So you go back and forth, it balances each other out. It is just an entirely different genre of acting. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Give it a try.
Oh, definitely. You had to learn exactly how, like, pretty much. I think you had to learn where all the keys on the piano were. That way, it's like playing a song to an audience. You want to make sure the orchestra in the background really enjoys the music.
Yeah, and I mean, I have this luxury when I'm doing audio drama. I'm like, I would like to throw in like 30 ums and like a breath, and I can because I have that freedom. You can't do that in anime. It's been animated. It's already out in Japanese in a lot of cases. Like you have to conform to the mold and work from within that, which is really fun. It's fun and I love doing it. But yeah, it's a completely different ball game.
Okay. Sweet. Well, shoot, I might need to give it a listen again.
Yeah, I mean, watch the mouth flaps, like really look at them, and it's I mean, that Heike crab we did so many takes just in Aaron's like, you can be weirder. I'm like, are you sure? But yeah, I mean, I know how I want to do it in my head, and then when I get there and I see the flaps, it's like, okay, adjust in real time, figure it out.
Sweet. Okay. Well, we are at the conclusion here. I'm trying to make sure I pick a good one, but actually I'm going to combine these two, okay, if that works.
Absolutely.
Now, first part of this 2-part question, do you write to understand the world, to hear yourself, or to challenge others, or all 3 at once?
I think I write because I have so many feelings and thoughts in my head, and getting them out is healthy. When I started, I mean, when I was a kid, I wrote a bunch. But it was always like the stuff that's going on in my head that I don't have I don't get to express this in real life. Like, I write a lot of superhero stuff because I'm like, you don't get to fight monsters. Maybe you do, but like, I don't get to fight monsters in real life. I, work all of my jobs and I come home and I take care of my cats um, and I love my little life. But there is a part of me that imagines what it'd be like to fight monsters. So that's what that becomes. I will find myself fascinated by an aspect of society or by a moment, or by a thought. I won't get into it because it was a lot, but I had a series of stuff go down my senior year that made me really start contemplating like mortality and why we choose to keep living. And I had just like this thought in my head, and I went, that needs to go somewhere. So I wrote this play about 8 like young teenagers growing up in a small town during like the Great Depression. And I wrote the whole thing to build up to this monologue that was this one thought that I had. Then I submitted it to a competition. I got pulled for it and cut the character that gave the monologue. It like just all kind of flew out the window. So like the reason I started it fundamentally changed while working on it. And like those moments were still there, and I think I fundamentally changed while working on it, because the character that then got to convey those thoughts conveyed them for a completely different reason. And meant them in different ways with different levels of sincerity, and there was a different, a status shift in the scene. So like my little thought that I had to myself, God, 9 years ago, prompted me, kept me fueled to write this whole play and to put meaning and substance in it. So, I mean, for me, it's always like the show I'm working on right now, I went, Something's Amiss at Juniper's House would be a really cool title. And I got stuck on that title and I went, okay, what kind of show could have the title Something's Amiss at Juniper's House? And so I started world building and I started thinking about things that I wanted to see. And then I took the stuff that's floating around, in my head, in what I've consumed from other media, and I went, okay, let's flesh out these characters, let's flesh out these worlds, let's give them hard things to deal with. So I think, yeah, for me, it comes down to finding one thought and needing to get it out. Just in needing to get that, whatever it is that's stuck in your head, out onto paper, so it's not just floating around, bouncing around your head anymore. And then the whole thing can kind of come from that.
Oh yeah,
That's
definitely.
yeah.
I think whatever you do, and I had a discussion with somebody who she's a music artist. She's an amazing singer. This was back in when I did season 1 back in June of 2025. She said that she just like writing stuff. Like she likes writing songs that just tells me like I just wanted to get my feelings out. And
Yeah.
sometimes she likes stuff to like, because there's a lot of people who go through mental health struggles and they feel alone, and it's like we gotta do something to help them. And I think with you writing certain things and talking audiobooks the way you're doing stuff, you're doing your best to help people who have those kind of problems too.
Yeah, and you don't expect the stuff that resonates so strongly with you to resonate so strongly with other people. Because when I produced that play I wrote as a senior in high school, there were like, we did a talk back afterwards, and there were people in the audience like crying and being like, this is what my childhood was like. This is what it is like to live in a small town. Like I felt like cathartic feelings for myself. And I was like, wow, if I never put that thought on paper, other people wouldn't get to see themselves reflected in art. So yeah, and I mean it's not, I like it circles all the way back. I like art that makes you think. And it's not always like, I'm not out here writing stuff that's profound. I'm writing stuff that's personal. And if someone that hears it takes away something from it, that's awesome. or I'm writing stuff with a point of view. Which is what I love about the Knives Out, Glass Onion, Wake of Dead Man movies. Like there is such a clear point of view. The person that wrote the movie had something they wanted to say. And I think when you find stuff where someone has there's a want, there's something personal in there, that's when it becomes really resonant and really impactful. And I can strive to create that stuff myself as a writer, but getting to be a part of it as an actor is such a freaking gift. And that's why I do what I do. I want to be a part of those moments.
I had those moments, and you want to have those emotional moments. By the way, back in season 1, I did cry on one of my episodes because one of their stories touched my heart, and I just couldn't hold back the tears, Kayla.
Yeah.
So,
no, I bet I'm a weird crier. I'll be like totally fine, and then I'll watch an episode of something and sob, and I'm like, okay, whatever, man. But it's healthy to be emotionally vulnerable like that. It's good that you're having those conversations, because maybe someone listening will learn something about themselves.
Oh, definitely. And I think I sent Kelsey Cruz that reel. She said that was very powerful that I showed her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was the real me crying. I sent it to her. She actually liked it. So that's good. That just means you're very in tune with your emotions and everything.
Yes. It is good, especially nowadays when there's so much stimuli, there's so much stuff out there. Being in tune with your emotions and yourself is so important. That's something I'm working on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's wrap this up and then we'll be done. Looking back at your body of work today, what do you hope your audience takes away from this about the characters you play and about you as an artist?
I hope they get the sense that I genuinely love what I do. Yeah, I mean, it's a job, you make money from it, but like, I mean, obviously I want them to think I'm good, but I hope anyone that comes across anything I do gets the sense that I love it. Because I really do. And everything I work on, whether it's a character like Monika, who has like these epic scene stealing moments, or if I'm just going in for like a background part in something to be a guy that's like, hey, over here, like I love what I do, and that is my secret to success, is like a genuine love for what you do. And then everything you do is awesome. Everything you do is fun. It's my favorite thing to go in and record for stuff. Like I like shot out my voice I had a big session for Vigilantes and then a big session for a Kakuriyo bed and breakfast for spirits. And I was sweating. And I got in the car afterwards and I went, that was so much freaking fun. And then I went, I'm tired, I'm going to go home and take a nap. But like I felt like I got to do my favorite thing. And if this is your favorite thing and you want to do this, chase it. But if you're in it for the follower count or the money, God forbid, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard no matter what, but you're not going to feel fulfilled if you're looking for that kind of stuff outside of yourself. This is such a long tangential answer to a question what I answered right away, which is that I want them to know that I love it. I want them to see it and be like, man, they're having a good friggin' time.
True, Caroline. Listen, I be telling people, y'all, make sure y'all enjoy the small moments in life. Like I posted something on Instagram where I had Ben and Jerry's, and I posted eating ice. When I posted eating ice cream, I said, make sure to enjoy the small moments in life, okay?
Yeah.
So
it's maybe to run up that hill that day.
Exactly. If it's not, like I don't want to do something and it doesn't feel like it's fulfilling, Like take like Doc Hudson from Cars. He was, if you remember Cars 2006.
I do remember
Yes,
Cars. Yeah.
yeah. He was Lightning was saying, "Look at all those trophies," and then Doc was like, "You look. All I see is a bunch of empty cups."
Yeah. Damn. That's what it's about. It's personal fulfillment. Otherwise you'll never be happy unless you're happy with yourself.
Yes. Let's
That's
keep that in
cool.
mind, guys. Keep that in mind, guys. Do what makes you happy. Stay
like that.
focused, and stay true to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, don't look for external validation. It will never be enough. Like, validate yourself, please.
Exactly.
Yeah.